Hello everybody, Resender here, and welcome to the end. Yeah, you might be wondering why no episodes the entire week. Well, basically nothing really interesting happened. I spent most of the week babysitting 2 to 3 processes in the base. The first one being the lava generation for the obsidian generator, which I showed in the last episode. The other being the what you might call it, the mob essence. And speaking about mob essence, we are in peaceful because I had a little accident earlier and I couldn't get back to where I was, even if I had all. Basically, I had no gear to recover what I died. I didn't have the gear to recover it in time because there were so many mobs there that I had to resort to peaceful. Okay, so there's no real changes going on. I've replaced the buildcraft pipes for the input to fluid ducts from thermal expansion. I've got 2 drums full of mob essence. I did a similar principle for the lava. I'm now gathering. I've got now 4 drums of lava which I fill up and use. This actually allows me to let the obsidian farm run not constantly, but longer times before exhausting the lava supplies. I made this in a hope of somehow using this to increase my mob essence. Figured out that liquid XP is doesn't equal mob essence. You need to convert it. Okay, then here I've got everything set up. I'm not sure whether the harvester reaches everything, but that will be rebuilt on End Station 2. Currently working on a lot of side projects. Well, not a lot of side projects. As you might notice, there's some green and some brown stuff next to the central hole of the vault. And on some levels you might see there's another thing. Okay, I dug out another chunk and I moved my farms all the way in here. The reason being I kept forgetting to check the farms regularly. Not a big problem for the food, because I had plenty of, but I wanted to for this. Now, I've made a couple of these lily pads of fertility, which are made by having 8 splash potions of fertility, which are made by having a condensed splash potion and 3 bone meal, which is easy because I've got plenty of skeleton spawners. And yeah, you have a vial of ordinary water, which is, let's see, it's 5 glass panes in a U shape. I filled it up in the fluid transposer, made the condensed thingy, made the fertility, and why are we going to use it? We're going to see if these work on these. I have no idea if there's a visual cue about it. Would be handy, but I doubt it. We'll see how it goes. Well, basically, I've been spending a lot of time also getting more essences to make more of these. I discovered that actually gold seeds are as expensive as iron seeds, but 8 gold seeds, so 8 of these gold crops, will yield 2 gold ingots. No, will yield Well, let's start again. So 8 of these gold crops will yield 1 gold ore, which will yield 2 gold dust or 2 gold ingots. 1 gold ingot can be converted into 4 iron ingots, meaning that I can get 8 iron out of 8 iron out of 8 gold crops. I can get 2 iron out of 8 iron crops. So these are a little bit more efficient or a little bit more productive using equivalent exchange 3. I've also updated equivalent exchange 3, which now includes these. No. Let's see. These alchemical chests and a few more things that are fairly familiar from equivalent exchange 2, but I have no idea what they do, and there's still no official wiki on equivalent exchange 3. Okay, but that's that. On to the next and final part of this episode. I initially wanted to use ender pearls because that's a very efficient way to create iron if you have a source of endermen, which I do because I've got 1 enderman spawner from a rogue dungeon, and I can capture an enderman using sapphire nets. But the more important news is all the sand has been converted, and we now have about 83,461 blocks of clear glass, and we need about 97,000-ish blocks of clear glass for the construction. We only have got 2,000 blocks of iron. We need about 15,000. So that's roughly 12%. So a month for 12%, but that's not going to be the final result, because each day I'm working on this. Ooh, that's blood. Each day I'm working, my iron intake seems to accelerate. So this weekend I'm going to try and do a few more projects to increase iron supply. I'm going to start pulverizing my iron. Okay, here's, we need 16,000 iron blocks, so it's a little bit more than I feared. But for the most part, we're decent on schedule. I'm not going to get there in April. I'm not going to start building a land station 2 in April, because there's no way I'll be able to collect 14,000 blocks of iron in how many days? 3 days? The problem is, if I could run the obsidian generators downstairs pretty much for another 12 hours or so, it could generate enough obsidian to get enough iron ingots to make enough blocks before the end of the month. Problem is, the generators that generate the obsidian consume lava faster than I can produce it. I now have about 20 lava fabricators. In order to keep up with the consumption of lava, I would need 200. And that wouldn't be energy efficient. So, my name is Resender. We are still not in the end. We now have all the clear glass for the construction of End Station 1. We now have access to the end. And the only real thing stopping us from moving from this stage of the series to the next stage, mainly start building on the end station, is iron blocks. And I'm hoping to inform you from now on a more regular basis on how that quest goes. So, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.